Welcome to this thing that I'm going to call a tutorial vlog. This is my first take on this, and this time we're going to try and get perfect color out of the GH5, the camera that I'm filming right now.
Wow.
This is going to be a two-part tutorial. On the first part, we'll go through the settings to use on your camera, how to expose, and how to shoot this calibration target for hacking the colors. On the second part, we'll go through the post-processing on the computer. And be warned that I'm not going to teach everything. I'm going to go quite quickly. So if something is unclear and you need clarification, just ask me in the comments and I'll reply, or make even another video to explain some details. Okay, now I'm filming with my phone and I'll show you the settings that I like to use when trying to capture the best color possible. First of all, I like to use V-Log L, though we're going to do one test with Cinelike D as well if you don't have the V-Log upgrade. And the second thing is that I like to shoot with 10-bit files, because at least with V-Log you can really see the difference between 8-bit and 10-bit files when doing color grading. And then I'm using zebras. So zebras are these things here that show that something is overclipping, that the information is gone, and you don't want that. So always try to protect the highlights. And when shooting in V-Log, I have the zebras at 80%. Sounds weird, and I don't want to explain the details, but that's the highest V-Log can shoot. So everything that goes over 80% is clipped. When you're shooting on other profiles, I'll use zebras at 105%, at least with Cinelike D. And the last thing that I want to mention is the white balance. I actually quite often use automatic white balance because it's really good on the GH5. And when you're shooting V-Log, you can fix it afterwards. I came to the city to test the theory. So let's see what kind of colors can we get out of this camera. Here is a sunny day in the city center of Tampere, my hometown. Let's talk about exposure. With V-Log, I'll expose a bit differently than with other profiles. With V-Log, I like to let as much light hit the sensor without nothing clipping. For example, here you can see the zebras, so those flowers are clipping. So I'll set my exposure correctly. I lower my exposure so that the flowers or nothing in the picture is clipping. Though sometimes I let light sources like lamps, windows, or sun overexpose, clip, but nothing else should clip. This will make the image very light, though you can easily correct exposure later on. But this will give you the most dynamic range out of your camera. With other profiles, for example Cinelike D, I'll set the exposure correct right in camera, because it's not so easy to correct the exposure on post with other profiles. So with V-Log, expose to the right without nothing clipping. With other profiles, make the exposure correct right in camera. So what is this? This is a color target or color checker. This individual one is made by x-rite, and it's called x-rite color passport because it's quite size of the passport and it fits into your pocket, so it's very nice. These cost about $150, and you can get cheaper ones on eBay, but I'm quite hesitant on recommending any of those because I cannot really be sure of what's the color really is. Because the idea here is that these patches, especially these guns, this is called a Macbeth chart. With this, all the values of each of these chips are known as RGB values. We know the RGB values of these. So when I show this to the camera, I know how they should look. And based on that information, how they look on the camera and how they should look, we can make this kind of a calibration file and make the camera look as it should look. So, aka getting the perfect color out of the camera. Okay, last piece of theory. How to shoot this color target to get to create the color hack or the color calibration file. There's a couple of things to consider. First thing is exposure. So I'll expose the target so that the whitemost chip on the left, bottom left, almost overexposed, almost clips. So I'll set the exposure so it doesn't clip but almost clips. The second thing is that I have to have the exact white balance, or otherwise the calibration file is skewed. And this now the target is on the sun, so I'll have it white balance on sun. The second thing is that I have to have even light on the target. So if one part is on shadow and another part is not, then it doesn't work. Or if if there's mixed lighting, so one part of the target is tungsten and other part is sun, it doesn't work. So even light. And one more thing is that we have to do this calibration file individually for each camera and for each color profile. So for example, now I'm shooting for V-Log, Cinelike D, and then when I have all these set, I'll just need 1 second of footage, because we need only one frame that we're gonna take from this video file. Okay, that's it. So now we have reached the end of this tutorial, and on the next one we'll do the post-processing part. And if you had any questions, please ask them below, because, well, you viewers are quite few in numbers now, so I can easily answer all of your questions. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe, because I'm gonna have more tutorials like this in the future. Bye.